Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so today's live is going to be a little bit earlier, right? All right, today's live is going to be slightly earlier because I do have some important stuff to attend to today. All right, so I'm just going to give you guys the direction today on what we are looking for. All right, but of course, we'll also keep an eye on the news that will be coming in today. All right, so technically we don't have much for the US and other than this 10 p.m. one, right, which is the prelim UOM consumer sentiment. Previous 77.2, forecast is 76.3, and if you guys can see this, actual greater than the forecast is good for currency. Which, if we look at the forecast according to the previous, is not looking very promising. All right, and then 8:30 we don't have anything for the US except this Canadian one. All right, we have employment change, negative 2.2, forecasted is 20.9K. All right, which shows a very big increment here. All right, and we have this unemployment rate from 6.1% previous, forecast is at 6.2%, and less is better than the lesser than the forecast, then it's going to be good for the currency. And this is greater than the forecast, is good for currency. All right, so if let's say we have let's say the actual is above 20.9 and this is lower than 6.2, all right, which means both are good for the currency, right? Because you see this, less than forecast is good for currency, and this is greater than forecast is good for currency. But if let's say we have this at above 20.9 and this is good for the currency, and this is let's say 6.3, which is bad for the currency, then for this CAD pair, it's a mixed data which can give a different kind of move, whereby we will see like a spike above or spike below before any potential move. All right. Just give me a minute, yeah, while I set up my TikTok account. Just give me one moment. All right, I hope TikTok you guys can see as well. All right, okay, so let's just get started. Okay, all right, so basically on hour 4 initially we are waiting for a sell on gold. All right, we are waiting at around this zone here, all right, to actually take a sell, but we see this very strong momentum pushing the price upwards. Right, of course, this one initially when it tapped in, this one here actually respected yesterday night, right? And if we look from the top all the way to the bottom, it respected about 260 pips in total, right? But of course, we don't know if this is from here it rejected or from the top, right? As long as we know there's one candle here that respected the zone here, right? And then this candle came, respected as well, and this is the one that actually broke out of the zone, and eventually this candle breaking this high. All right, so On my hour 4 for gold, right, we have a change here, right, indicating that the price is moving upwards. All right, and it's still pumping at the moment. Okay, it's still pumping. So we'll see if we can get something out of gold. Maybe we will do a counter trend trade, right? Taking a sell, but it is very risky. So we'll see what we can get out of it for today. All right. So the hour 4 direction is showing the market is heading upwards. All right, it's heading upwards. Okay, so we go down to the 15. All right. So if we see 15 minutes here, all right, we eventually have a break here, right? A BOS. Right. I was waiting for this zone here at the bottom. Right. Let me just show you guys where I was actually waiting for. All right. So initially I was waiting for this zone here to be tapped because it's unmitigated one. All right. But the price did not do so and just decided to go all the way up. All right, and eventually breaking a structure here on the 15, all right, which of course we couldn't get any trades in on gold, right? So we currently right now we have a newer range, right, which is from this bottom here, and if we look at the 15, we don't have a proper retracement here, neither we have it here or we have it here, and this is continuing to rise. All right, hour 4 is still rising, 15 minute is still rising. Alright, so hour 4 and 15 minutes, it's an uptrend. Okay, so if I'm going to take a counter trend trade, I want to see some sort of retracement happen first, alright, before I can take a position. Alright, so for example, this is where the break happened, right? So if I want to take a trend, I want to take a counter trend trade, and if let's say I want to be aggressive, alright, usually, okay, if you want to do counter trend, right, usually if let's say this price is going up on the 15, alright, if you want to do a counter trend trade, you need this low here because this is the actual low to be broken first. Alright, I will wait for this to be broken, a retracement happens somewhere in the 618, then I will take an entry shorting the pair, right? But if I'm going to be aggressive, alright, that is already very conservative, alright? But if I want to be aggressive, right, when this happen, this break happen, right? When this happen, I will look for this candle high. Before this candle high, alright, where is the last bearish candle low? Alright, which we have it here, right? It did not break, it gone even higher, and then it pumps, breaking this high. Okay, which means this is not valid. Okay, and then eventually when we have a high here, this is our bearish. Our last bearish, this is the high, this is our last bearish candle. Alright, do we have a break? No, we still don't. Okay, and then this guy continued to pump. Then we have it here, right? Do we have a break? No, it's still rejected. Came all the way to this top here. This was our last bearish. It did not. Came to this high. The same thing here, the last bearish candle here. It still did not break and it's still pumping. Okay, so if I'm going to take a sell, I'm going to wait for this bearish candle here to be taken out first. Alright, with a candle body closing below. Okay, a candle body closing below of this bearish candle low. Right, then I will look for an opportunity to actually take a sell position. Alright, shorting it back to at least the 50 level. If we want to look at where the 50 is. Let's say this is a high, right? 50 is here, right? We'll be looking to short it back to this level here, and then we will look for opportunity to buy this guy back to the top. All right, so this is what I'm waiting for gold. But as of now, we don't see any possible entry. And if we look at today alone, all right, as soon as the market opened at 6 a.m., this guy did a total of 320 pip pump. Alright, so even yesterday it's pumping since morning. The same thing happened today. Okay, so we'll see how far this guy is going to go before we actually initiate on a position. Alright. Okay, so we'll hop on to GBP USD. Okay, GBP USD on the hour 4, we are looking to short, alright, in this or this zone, either one of these three. Okay, so we are still waiting. All right, so on the minute 15 here, all right, because hour 4 is a very big time frame, right? So obviously you need to wait for a very, very long time. Only you by the time when you wait for that long, right, it's not 100% that you will get an entry, right? Not necessarily, right? So what I do is I use the 15-minute as my bigger time frame. All right, so previously we have this change showing the price moving upwards, and then we have this break below here as well, showing the price coming down. Okay, so we look at these two white lines here. All right, we look at these two white lines here. Right, so this is my 15-minute range. All right, whereby I will be looking for a short position. All right, but of course you see I do have multiple zones here, right? So I will be removing a few that I think I won't be tapping or maybe using it. I'm just going to keep 3 that I think is much more suitable at the moment. All right, which is of course not mitigated and it's still able to do something for us. All right, so on the 15, from this bottom line all the way to this top here, all right, this is the zones that I'm looking for shorts. Okay, so as soon as 15-minute chart, as soon as the price taps in, okay, if it taps into this one of these 3 zones, I won't do an instant entry. All right, when it taps in, I'm going to hop down to the 1 minute. Okay, and on the 1 minute, what I'll do is, let's say this is our zone here, right? As soon as the 15-minute taps in like this, right, I will hop down to the 1 minute to look for confirmations. All right, so I want to see something like this, breaking up and then breaking down. Okay, when we have this move here, all right, which means that this is a change here, all right, a change in the market structure here. Okay, I will get my fib from the top to the bottom and I will place an entry on the 618. You can do it on the 50 if you want. Okay, and of course the first destination we are targeting is back to this low here where it starts to retrace. Of course the stop we need to give a little bit more buffer, which I usually do. I give 3 pips buffer. All right, so with this kind of breathing room here, okay, this is a 1 minute chart, yeah, this drawing here. Okay, we have like what, a 1 to 4.5, right? 1 to 1.45. So I think it's quite reasonable, right? At least we do have a 1-to-1. At least we can do certain decision whereby you can maybe take partials, or you can don't take partials, break even, or maybe you can choose to just close the full position as you wish. All right, so I'm going to be waiting until the price tap into the first zone here. Of course, if I mark so many zones, right, obviously you will tend to focus on the highest zone, all right, which is just now I marked it here, right? You will focus on this highest one because it's definitely much better risk to reward, right? But to me, I'm going to react as soon as the price tap into the first zone here, which is above the 50 already. All right, so I'm going to set an alert here, only once, yeah. Okay, so alert's been set, so I will be notified as soon as this guy steps in. Okay, so GBP USD on the 15, I'm using the 15-minute as my biggest time frame. All right, 15-minute as my big time frame, whereby I think that the price comes here, it will definitely give us some sort of reaction. Of course, we have to look at this here, right, at 10 o'clock. If it taps in before 10, then it would be perfect for us to actually take a trade. Because if, let's say, it taps in during the news, all right, for example, I'll show you on the 1 minute. All right, for example here, right, look at this long candle here, right? This is the news just now for GBP, right, at 2 o'clock, which we have this GDP, right, which is better than the forecast. All right, so that is why we have this massive pump. So if you're looking to take a position like this, right, the previous low is definitely, previous bearish candle is here, right? Definitely the chance for you to take this is, I would say, it's not impossible, you can, but of course then your risk is going to basically your stop loss is going to be quite huge, and your TP is going to be not to what you're expecting, which means your risk to reward isn't as beautiful as you want it to. All right, so if this guy taps in before the news, all right, then I will take a little bit of risk by hopping in, all right. Plus, not forgetting today's a Friday, all right. So for me, I tend to trade lesser on a Friday, all right. So we'll see how this goes. If there's a possibility for us, then we will be taking it, all right. Okay, so GBP AUD, okay, GBP AUD. GBP AUD on the hour 4 is coming down, right? We are waiting for an opportunity to buy this guy back up to the 50, all right? The 50 would be, let me just remark it, because this guy actually dumped a little bit more. All right, so the 50 would be somewhere here, plus minus, right? So GBP AUD 4 hour is downtrend, all right? 15-minute, it's also showing a downwards movement. All right, so if you guys actually saw the trade, or you guys took a trade yesterday with me here on GBP AUD, all right, we've gotten like what, from the entry all the way to this top here, we gotten like 24 pips in total, almost 25, and then unfortunately the price hit our break even, right, all the way down, giving us this change of character here, which indicates on the 15 market is coming down, and then it did this retracement here. Okay, so it's still the same deal. I'm more keen on taking a buy. Alright, of course, if you take a buy, I need this guy to break this high here, which then gives me this break here, which indicates the price is reversing instead of coming down on the 15. And then mark my demand area, this guy comes back, tapping in, hop on for 1 minute, look for an opportunity to buy back up. And then I'm going to target the full range all the way here to the 50 of the hour 4. Right, of course, this is where you want to actually, let's say if they retrace, right, then this is your high. Right, of course, this is the destination where you want to definitely take a very, very heavy partial. All right, and then target the balance back to this high here on the 50 level of the FIP on 4-hour chart. All right, so I'm more keen on taking a buy, like I've said, but of course, doesn't harm us if we are trying to look for an opportunity to sell. But the problem is, the possibility that this guy is going to go up, it's also quite high. All right, so I just mark this zone here first. Of course, we have a break, we have a mitigation already done. Okay, above it we have another mitigation done, this one as well. There's one here that is not mitigated yet after the break. Okay, and then of course we do have a final zone towards the upside which has been mitigated already. Right, so these are the two zones that is not mitigated at the moment. Okay, so if we are going to look for a trade on GBP AUD on the 15 to sell, all right, make sure you guys keep an eye on these two zones here. All right, you can screenshot this if you want. All right, this is the numbers, and this is the number for the second zone. All right, you can screenshot this as well. All right, there's two zones here. Okay, these are the two zones that you will need. Okay, so you may want to just mark it on your MT5 or MT4, or maybe mark it on TradingView so that you will be notified, set an alert so you'll be notified when the price steps in. Okay, so this is where we'll be looking in. But of course on GBP AUD, if I'm going to take this zone here, right, as usual, I would want to sweep above this high. Alright, I need this high to be taken out because it's already been mitigated once. I need this high to be taken out before I can take another entry, right? Okay, Euro AUD, hour 4 it's definitely dumping. Alright, we have this tap in here. Okay, so we hop onto the 15. Like I've said, we are waiting for it when this guy actually broke below, right? I was waiting for this guy to come back to this top here. So when we have this new break of structure, we can't do this level up here already. So what can we do is we can do a newer range which is from this high to this low. Right, this one here did not give me a confirmation today morning, so I did not take it. But of course, this guy actually gone about a total of 22, almost 23 pips. Okay, alright, so we'll see here. Okay, basically, if you're going to be aggressive, right, tapped in, this is the candle, gone higher, still the candle. Alright, this guy gone higher, this is the candle that you need to watch out for, this low. It gone higher here, so the previous low would be here. Right, this is very aggressive here. Alright, and then of course you get your fib from the top, continue trading this guy, right, all the way to this low here. My entry is on the 0.618 here, right? It did not even tap in. It tapped in on the 50 and just gone without looking back, right? It just dumped and then reverse again, and then dumped again. Okay, so all in all, basically, if we take an entry on the 0.5, for example, you would have gotten about 25 pips in total, right? Quite a good profit, right? Barely any drawdown. But my target is always a 618. Alright, but of course there's no harm using the 0.5. Like I've said countless times on my stream, the Fibonacci retracement level 0.5 and the 618, right? If you guys use it and if you guys know, it's what they call as the golden zone. Alright, so you can use the 0.5, right? I'm not saying you can't, but to me, I personally likes the 0.618 level. Okay, so maybe in the future I'll just change it to 0.5, right? So I won't be missing out on any entries, right? So on the 15th here, I won't be taking another trade because even if it taps in, because this is the high here that it needs to be taken out, right? So I won't be looking for another opportunity on Euro AUD. I will just wait for this guy to either break the top or the downside here, and then only I'll decide. If this guy is going to break the top, alright, if he's going to break the top here, alright, then I will try and look for buy opportunity back to this high. Alright, so we'll see how this guy is going to perform before we make any decision. Alright, okay, moving on. Euro CAD. Euro CAD is a very huge range here, right, from this bottom to this high here on the orange lines. Right, moving on to the 15 minute, it's downwards move right now. Alright, 15 minutes downwards move. Okay, but I did not get an entry. Basically, if we look at this level here, okay, of course I always say above the 50, right? These are all above the 50, but these are all mitigated already. So that is why I did not even try and take a trade. So I was actually waiting for this one here. Alright, it did not give me this tap in. Alright, it did not give me this tap in. So we'll see if this guy is going to tap in later. But not forgetting, this is a Canadian pair, which at 8:30 sharp we will have the news for the Canadian pair. All right, so we'll just keep an eye and see how it's going to go. Okay, but of course, this is a I would want to try and get this trade out actually. So we'll see how this guy is going to perform first. But of course, if we look at this movement here, it dumped and then it ranged quite a bit. It dumped and then pumped and then came back at the same level here and ranged again, right? The whole day here. Basically since yesterday. On Thursday evening, it dumped, right? And then it at night yesterday, basically about 8 o'clock, it started to pump on the US news as well. And then came back below to the same exact level here and start ranging again. Okay, so I want to see how EuroCAD is going to perform tonight because we do have this employment change and also the unemployment rate for the Canadian, right? Okay, USD CAD, also a Canadian pair. On the hour 4, we know the price is coming down. Did not get an entry here. Right, on the 15 minute, we have a newer range. Okay, I'm going to try and mark out where are the zones that I will actually look for my supply level, which we have one here above the 50, right? It's quite a huge zone, about 12 pips. All right, this is only 12 pips here. Okay, not mitigated yet. And of course we have this one here that actually let's see if it breaks and mitigated. Yeah, broken and mitigated once. Okay, so I'm just only going to focus on this unmitigated one at the moment. Okay, if this guy comes, I'm going to take a position as well. If you look at EuroCAD, USD right, both are Canadian pairs. Right, both charts shows me that the price is coming down. Right, so I think it's something that we should keep an eye on, and we may be able to take something. Right, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, USD, NZD USD, hour 4 is heading towards the upside. Alright, these are my hour 4 zones. Alright, so on the 15th, this pumped up, came back below, started to range and slowly dumping. I did not take a trade here. Okay, I did not take a trade here. I'm going to want to see this price coming back below, all right, potentially breaking this low, all right, and then tapping into my hour 4 zone to buy. All right, I want to just go with the bigger time frame on hour 4. All right, I want this guy to come back below, tapping into either one of these zones here so that I can take a buy back to the upside. All right, but NZD USD is quite slow, so I'm not going to try and force a trade here. Okay, moving on to Euro USD. All right, let's take a look at Euro USD. We have a new BOS here on H4. I've also marked out my zones that I'll be keeping an eye on to take a buy on my, basically these are my demands. Okay, on the 15 minute, the price barely broke above. Okay, so we have a change here on the 15. If you pull this guy, anything below the 50, which is definitely this one here, broken and unmitigated, and of course we have one at the bottom here, so I'm not even going to mark that because it's way too low. Alright, I will mark it and I will use it when the price comes. Alright, but for now I'm going to keep an eye on this zone here first. Right, as soon as price taps, I will look for an opportunity to buy this guy back to this top here. Alright, also if you look at hour 4, if you get a fib, the price has came below the 50 before, right, but it did not tap into our zone. Alright, so if this guy comes to the 15-minute zone, I'm going to try and buy this guy, targeting this as my first TP and my second TP on the hour 4 high, and eventually seeing this guy breaking above. Alright. Okay, AUD USD. Hour 4 is coming down, right? As what we spoken a few days ago. This is our hour 4 zone. On the 15th, I was waiting for this break here so that 15-minute and the hour 4 actually tallies. Alright, we finally had a break on Wednesday. This guy retraced. Alright, it tapped in. But like I've said on the 15th, if this is my 15-minute zone, and if the candle closes above, I won't be taking a trade, right? But if you look at this here, I use the whole stretch here, right? Of all these bearish candles, there are 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 bearish candles here. Now I use the whole range here. Okay, but somehow the price still managed to break above, but it still respected this hour 4 zone and dumped a total of 20 pips as well. Okay, so I didn't take a trade here, but we'll see if this guy is going to come back here again, taking this high, sweeping this high, and then we'll try and look for opportunity there. Right. NZD JPY, another yen pair here. Okay. Basically yen pairs is something that I would avoid at the moment. Okay. So hour 4 is from this line here all the way to this one here. Right. This is my zone. My range on the hour 4. Okay. So 15 minute. We have a change of characters here, indicating that the 15-minute time frame price is going to move upwards. Right? Because this guy tapped in on some demand area here, right? Pump, dumped again, and then started to go higher. All right, and of course it broke this high, and at the moment right now it's just not much of a volume here. Even if you look at this pump here, right, this move up, it's also very slow. Right, so we are not seeing something like a huge dump like this, but it's slowly correcting it again. So we'll see if these guys are going to come below and giving us an opportunity to buy. If there is, then we will take it. Right. Okay. AUD JPY is similar to NZD JPY, but the difference here is that we have a change of character and we have a BOS here. Right. This is change of character here, and this is the BOS that we have. Alright, but I won't be taking AUD USD because it's a little bit messy here. Alright, it's a little bit messy, so I won't look at it and try to take a trade. You know, not trying to risk myself there. Okay, GBP JPY, it's also an uptrend on hour 4. 15 minute, this zone doesn't work already, it's broken above. Okay, a high possibility that this price would break the 15-minute high. So I don't want to hop in yet at the moment. I want to see if this guy is going to break, and then we will actually look at a newer range for us to buy on the 15. All right, which also tallies to the hour 4 direction. Well, hour 4 is heading upwards. Okay, USD JPY, we have this range here on the 15. Right, this is our range. If we want to use a 50 level, we have one here. It respected, came below again, respected a little bit, and dumped. And of course, the last line of defense is here. All right. Of course, yes, the price did tap in, rejected, came lower, taking out this low, and then started to pump. I did not take it. I did not have the opportunity here. Alright, so we'll see if this guy is going to break above. If it's going to break, then we'll look at a newer range and we'll see how we can go around with USD JPY. Alright, CAD JPY is still pumping. 15-minute high is here, so we'll see if this guy is going to do something. And another yen pair that I'm looking at is Euro JPY. Okay, it's also a similar thing. If you look at all the JPY pairs, you have this massive dump, trace, massive dump, trace, dumped again, and then pumped slowly. Alright, this basically all the JPY pairs are moving very similar. Okay, so I'm going to avoid the JPY pairs for now. Okay, currently looking back at gold. Okay, so this is the 15-minute chart here. If this guy is breaking below here, then we'll see if we want to take an opportunity. If I look at the 1 minute here, this one actually moved quite good, but it did not take the 618. It was at 0.5, about 3 pips difference there. But this one actually gone pretty well on the 1 minute time frame. This guy dumped about 50 pips in total already. But we'll see how this guy is going to go first. I'm not going to rush into it because we do know that uh, it's been since morning, right? It's been making new highs, right? Give this very small retracement. The biggest one was here, right? Very small retracement, pumped. 15-minute rejected one candle, pumped, and then currently it's rejecting. Okay, so I'm not going to rush into it. I'm just going to monitor this guy, play it safe, since it's a Friday. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just drop me a comment in the comment section. All right. Comment section. All right. All right. So GBP USD, I'm waiting for this tap in on the 15th so that I can take a shot. Right. As for gold, I'm not looking for a possible entry right now. Alright, so today's live, it's slightly earlier. Yeah, like a few hours earlier compared to the usual where we do it at 8 o'clock, right? Because I do have some important things to handle, right? So, with that being said, so I'm actually doing my live earlier today. Plus, this whole week we only gotten one trade, which is yesterday on GBP AUD, right? Which we gotten about 25 pip profit. Right, so if today there's an opportunity, then we'll look into it. Is this gold? This chart is not. This one is GBP USD. This one is gold, right? Because if you look at gold on the 15-minute, right? After this break here, after this BOS, alright, ignore this. Let me just hide this guy. Okay. After this BOS here, alright, the price never comes back, right? It never betrays back to anywhere lower that we are expecting to actually take a buy, right? Because obviously, if you want to trade gold, and you know gold, it's a pair that is very volatile, right? The movement is very crazy. Today alone, since morning, it has gone 300 pips, right? Yesterday morning as well, it has gone 300 pips as well, right? So in order to trade on gold, you want to get a trade on gold, you might want to actually go along with the trend, right? So if you see like, yes, I do look at hour 4, all right? I do look at hour 4 to know what's the direction for hour 4. So initially it was a downwards move until we have this break here, right? Hold on, let me bring it back out. Where is it? All right, until we have this break here, all right, which indicates that hour 4 is changing direction, right? Okay, so when hour 4 change direction, then we know, okay, hour 4 on the bigger time frame, it's moving upwards, all right? So you want to do a counter trend trade, you can, but you need a solid confirmation that, all right? So if we look at 15-minute here, this guy, after this break, it has been going up and up and up, right? This break has actually happened yesterday at about 10 o'clock, right? And then it never even came back for us to give us an opportunity, and then this guy just started to pump. If we look at since the break at about here, it has gone 460 pips in total, right? After the break here, right, we are using this higher, this break here, it has gone 460 pips, all right? It never retraced and give us an opportunity to go along. So right now on 15-minute on gold, we are just going to look at this and see if this guy is going to reverse, right? But why do I have a line here? Is basically I'm using the 15-minute single time frame here to actually see if this guy is going to break below. Right, if this guy breaks below here, then we may be taking a little bit of risk, right, and trying to sell this guy back towards the downside. All right. Is it suitable for sell? No. If you have your confirmation, you can, right? Of course, I know there are people that is taking a sell when the price is up here or up here, right? There are people that is doing it because they do have their own confirmation. They do have their own strategy, their own way to trade, right? So obviously, then they will take a sell. But yes, if you ask me, I would love to take a sell now as well. But I don't have a confirmation for me. Even if you look at the 1 minute time frame here, all right, we look at the break here. This is the break, right? I zoom out for you guys. This is the break on 15 minute. Right, this guy came back, never break this low, and then pumped. All right, you can see this move very clearly, right? It broke here, right? Gone up, dumped, but at this level, it gone up again. It rejected again, right? It has been going higher and higher, right? So on the 1 minute, if I'm going to want to take a trade, if I'm going to want to take a sell, I would say ultimately I'm going to be waiting at about this level on the 1 minute, right, to be much more solid. Because obviously, if you look at 1 minute, right, this is a break of structure here. I'm just going to mark this guy. All right, this is definitely a break here. Okay, so then this is our low. I'll just show you what I see on 1 minute, right? This is my high. This guy comes down, right? So if I want to take a sell, right, using the 1 minute time frame, whereby we know that the 1 minute time frame consists much more noise, right? If you look at the 5 minute, right, it's much better, much cleaner. Right, 15 minute is way cleaner. Look at our one. You don't see anything here, right? So by using the 1 minute chart to trade, I'm going to want to see this guy breaking this low. All right, this is I'm using a single time frame. Yeah, breaking this low. Then we take our fib, trail this guy, place an entry on the 618 or the 0.5. My usual is the 618. Stops at this level, giving it extra 15 pips, which is 39. 15 is about let's say this is 40. 15 is 55, so it's 54 in total. Right, 54 pips in total stop, and this guy we're going to target the first. If let's say it comes here and then retrace, this is where we will be targeting first, right? It's a 1 to 2, 1 to 1.2. All right, and then ultimately we're going to target this guy all the way to the 15 minute 50 level. All right, so if I know where's the 50 level, we take our fib. 50 level is here. All right, so this is where we will be targeting, and we have a total of 1 to 6 risk to reward. All right, and this is 330 pips in total. All right, this is 330 pips in total. Okay, of course this is where we'll be targeting first, but right now, of course, there's no confirmation or anything for a stake, so we can't be rushing into it. We just need to be a little bit more patient before we hop into take a trade on gold, because if you guys have been trading gold, you would know that gold is it's very volatile, and it's a little bit crazy for the past 1-2 weeks here. All right, so I don't want to take any huge risk there. I'm just gonna trade it simple. All right, trade it easy. Don't rush into it. As long as I have my trading plan, I stick to my trading plan, then I'm gonna be fine. Right? You guys have any questions? Any questions? Feel free to just ask me anything, or any pair that you want me to analyze. Right now, gold, I'll be waiting on the 1 minute here for this level to be broken before I take a trade. All right. So like all the zones that I give you guys are like GBP USD here. Right, like GBP USD here. This is the 15-minute zone. Alright, you look at these blue ones, this one and this one. This is the zone. This is the second zone, and this is the third zone. Right, take a screenshot if you want, and then you can mark it in your MT4, MT5. 1, 2, and 3. Here to here. Alright, these are the 3 zones. So as soon as price taps in here, I will hop down to the 1 minute, and basically my confirmation is like this. Alright, 1 minute will be like this price is going up, tapped into it here. Let's just say we have a zone here. Alright, and then I want this guy to come below again, goes up, taking out this high, and then comes down, taking out this low. Alright, I'm not sure when this is going to retrace, but let's just say it closed below here, and then it start to retrace. Right, then I'll get my feed from here to this low, entry of the 618 or the 0.5 as you wish, stops here. GBP USD I give a 3 pip buffer, so which in total is a 26 pip stop. Alright, and this one here, the TP, right, you're going to target back to this low. Right, this is your ultimate TP, your maximum TP here. Right, but of course you're going to want to look at it when the price comes back to this level, which means if this guy goes up, takes your order, right, when it reverses, it comes to this level. This is where you need to take action, whether you break even, take partials or whatever. Right, and then this guy may reverse again like this, breaks below, comes up, right, it may go like this and then dump again. Right, we don't know, something like this might happen. Okay, so this is what you need to look out for. But of course, ultimately, you're going to want to target back to this low, right, to get the full maximum TP here. Right, because on the 15, it's very simple that it's easy to understand that the price is coming down because we have this change here. Right, it's very simple. The price is coming down. That is what we know. All right, so when we know this is coming down, then we just want to go along with the trend. All right. How to know which zone is suitable for entry? How to know which zone is suitable for entry? Okay, good question. So basically, like for me, if I want to get an entry instead of waiting for too long on the hour 4, right, what I'll do, I use 15 minutes as my bigger time frame, right? So when I know 15 minutes, let's just say for example GBP USD, right? I have this latest break here, which is indicating that 15 minutes on GBP USD is coming down, all right? So when I have this retracement upwards, all right, because why the retracement here? Because this is where it broke. And then I do have 3 candles, basically 3 bullish. 1, 2, this is the second one, and this is the third one. Right, so I have a proper retracement here. Okay, even if I don't see this as a proper retracement, for the price to come back to this level here, it's already a very huge retracement here. Alright, so what I'll do is when I have this, I'll mark my high on the 15 and my low on the 15. And what I'll do, I get a Fibonacci retracement. From this high, I drag this guy all the way to the low. Alright, so when I drag it like this, alright, this is not like you asked me how to know which zone is suitable for entry. Alright, I myself wouldn't know which zone is suitable for entry. But what I know is anything above the 50 level, it's suitable, right? So this is the 50 level of the 15 minute, the whole range, right? Anything above the 50. So if we are selling, we need to look for a bullish candle, all right, above the 50. So this is the 50. I have one bullish candle here. Of course, I do have this one as well, but this one is already broken, right? If you see, all right, okay, broken once, and mitigated already here, right? So I'm not going to be using this zone. Okay, move higher, this one as well, broken, mitigated, right? At this level, broken, mitigated, right? So I'm not going to be focusing on all the zones that is presenting it to me. But what I'll do is I'm just going to mark out three that I think is much more suitable. I personally think is suitable, right? Because I have a break and it's not mitigated, right? We have a clear sign here. This one breaks, no mitigation. This one breaks, no mitigation even here. This one breaks, no mitigation, right? There's no mitigation. If you look at all these three boxes, there's no candle that tapped in yet, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these three zones here. As soon as the price taps on the 15, when the price touch the zone, I will instantly go down to the 1 minute. All right, instantly I'll hop down to the 1 minute. Let me show an example. Let me show an example. Okay, so initially, if you look at this one here, obviously I got stopped out, basically stopped out by the break even. All right. Okay, so what I did was, right, this was my actual low and this was my high. All right. This was my high and this was my low. All right. So what happened is I have this break. So what I do, I get my fib, I draw this guy. Right. So anything below the 50, it's very clear here. Right. It's very clear. Broken, not mitigated until here. Of course, then I have another one here. Broken and not mitigated. Right. Okay. So I'm going to remove this fib. Okay, so remember these two blue lines, right? Market is going up on the 15th. So what I do is, when the price taps in, I'll hop on to the 1 minute. Let's see if 1 minute gives us the chance to look at that trade, right? Okay, it doesn't show me. It doesn't show me. All right, so okay, so actually what happened here, all right? I took a trade here, right? It tapped in. I took one that is quite aggressive, right? Which the price actually moves. It comes in here like this, right? I go down to the 1 minute. What I do is, I mark, like for example, right? This is our low. It tapped in. This is our low. So I look at the previous bullish here. So it actually gave me something here. Okay, so I took it, and then instantly this guy gone to my stop loss. All right, doesn't matter. And then when we look at the next candle, it actually tap into this final zone here. So I remove this one, right, since it tapped in here. Okay, the same thing I did on the 1 minute. It came in, gone like this, broke above. Instantly, I'll pull my fib from here, right, all the way to this top here, and this guy start to retrace. And I place my entry on the 618, and I just let this guy go. Right, it gone to here. I've taken partials here. It gone here. I took a bit more partial. Gone here. I took about 70%. Right, when it comes to here, because my stop is here, I'm trailing my stop loss. Right, so this guy just took me out on BE, and then this guy just started to go even higher. Okay, so that is. I won't say that every zone is suitable. Right, we won't know, because like for example, we have one here. Okay, I can also say this is suitable, but it still stopped me out, right? This is also suitable, right? So I think at the end of the day, it's what you see, right? And then what you should do is basically just react to what the market is showing me. All right, for example, if the price taps this zone, I'm going to look for an opportunity. If it doesn't give me, I'm going to look it here. Still doesn't give me, I'm going to look it here. Right, I'm just going to slowly, one by one zone, I'm going to test it out. All right. Guys have any other questions? I don't usually take instant entry when it taps into my zone, yeah. Right? Even though like AUD USD, right? Like this is my 15-minute zone. Right? It taps in, you take an instant entry, and this guy dump. Yes, you may be getting profits like this, right? But of course, at the same time, if it doesn't go as planned, you don't know where to put your stop, right? If let's say you took a sell here and this guy continue to climb, you don't know where your stop loss is going to be, right? There's a reason why we have stop loss, and there's a reason why we put our stop losses there, all right? So, like for example, if gold, all right, let's say look at 1 minute here, right? I say I'm looking for a sell if it breaks below, all right? So, for example, if this guy breaks below here, what I do, I instantly take a fib, and if this guy from here is started to retrace, I'll place it on the 618. Alright, my sell limit will be on the 618. My stops is here, right? For gold I give 15 pip buffer, which is in total now it's 45. 45 plus 50 is 60 pips in total. This guy I'm just going to target first destination here, which we have a 1 to 1.2. And then ultimately, we're going to target this guy all the way down like 300 pips like we said just now, because that's the 15-minute Fibonacci 50 level. Okay, so why do I have my stop above here is because I know that if this guy reverses, right, because we have this break and it retraces, and if this zone is strong enough and if it respects it, right, this guy is going to dump. Okay, but if let's say it doesn't respect this, right, if it goes higher, right, if it goes like this, right, and then candle body closing above this high, which we have another break here, right, this is a change of character and another change of character. Will it happen? Do we have two change of character at the same time? Yeah, we have three here, right? Change, 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 right? So the possibility for that to happen is also there. That is why we have our stop placed, the reason why we have our stop placed here, right? So that we know that, okay, if this candle closes above, and if let's say it doesn't stop you out, and if you're lucky enough, this guy comes back below and you're in profit, then you're lucky, I would say close the trade, right? And if this guy respects this level here, it will definitely go up and definitely stop you out. Alright, so that's the reason why we have our stop at certain levels. But at the end of the day, if you want to take an instant entry, definitely, if you ask me, I'm not suggesting you to. But if you still, you want to do so, then of course it's your choice, right? But I won't advise you to do so. Right? It's not recommended. Always trade with a stop loss and also a TP. Alright, so I'm going to end my live soon. Alright, so like the zones I have for GBP, USD, and gold. So basically, gold on the 1 minute, you look for this low here, which is at 2369.95. If it breaks, candle body closes below, yeah, you take your feet from here, trail this guy all the way, see how far it's going to go, and if it retraces, entry on the 0.5 for the 618. Alright, and as for GBP USD, alright, you guys can set it in your MT4, MT5, or your trading view. Alright, this is the first zone. Alright, you can take a screenshot here. 1.25500 to 1.25560. This is the first zone. This is the second zone. Alright, you can take a screenshot. And this is the last zone. Alright, so these three zones, as soon as the price taps in on 15 minute, instantly hop down to 1 minute. Alright, and then look for a possible entry. Right, what do I mean by that? You look for this kind of pattern. Taps in. Right, let's say this is our supply. Taps in. You wait for this guy to dump. Wait for this guy to go back up, breaking this high. Coming back down, breaking this low. And then get your feet from here to here entry at the 618, dump it. All right. So okay, so you guys make sure you guys keep an eye. Of course, I will also, if I do have the time, I will look at it, and if I have an opportunity, I will give you guys in the form of signal. All right, so make sure you guys hop into my Telegram channel. All right, take a screenshot, go to your Telegram, type this in, and just hop in. All right, it's for free. All right, so thank you guys for joining. Sorry that I couldn't do live for the New York session later, but at least I get you guys prepped up first. All right, so thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, next week, Monday to Friday, the same time. New York session will start at about 8 o'clock, right? As long as we start it before 8:30, all right, so we can get everything sorted. All right, so thank you guys for joining on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you, and bye-bye.